The best Paris Corner perfumes for every season of the year. So as it turns out, this is a brand that produces a lot of fragrances that are inspired by more popular designer or niche fragrances. And as it turns out, they are really high quality, beautiful presentations, which I will show you in just a second. They last a fairly long amount of time, but it's ultimately the smell that counts, right? And so these are really fantastic fragrances. I own about a dozen, maybe a little over a dozen from this brand. I'm gonna let you know what I think is the best one for every season of the year. All of these are unisex, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on these fragrances from the brand Paris Corner, and I'll tell you which one is best for spring, summer, fall, and winter. But before I jump into the video, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would really mean a lot to me. So all things considered, this is a great brand, right? And I've been discovering their fragrances, and they're kind of like neck and neck with Lattafa in terms of like recreating popular fragrances, making them long lasting, putting them in these really cool presentations. And when you look at these bottles, you'll see that they're not playing around, right? So when it comes to the atomizer and the presentation, all of that stuff, these are really, really good fragrances. So let's go ahead and start things off with the spring. We might as well. And this one is kind of a long name. So this one is Ophidian Sweet Surrender. So again, just even if you see the box for this one, really beautiful presentation. So not a pressurized atomizer on this one. So this is a sugary red berry and rose fragrance. So this one, some might argue, is feminine leaning. I don't think so. I think it's perfectly unisex. It's definitely a romantic fragrance, right? So it's this sensual, romantic, alluring fragrance with the rose and the red berries, that sugary aspect that's in here. Ophidian Sweet Surrender is a really, really interesting fragrance. I think it's great for a night out. It's personally not something that I would wear casually. I think there are a lot of other fragrances from this brand, especially the summer pick, that I would totally wear casually. But this one, on the other hand, is one that I would wear dressed up, formal scenario, and perfect for the springtime. I selected this for the spring just because it has that rose in here. But I can see this being pulled off really nicely in like a cooler spring evening. So in my personal opinion, that would be the ideal situation for this one. But the snake and everything on it is a really interesting presentation, and personally, I am a fan of this one. And I think the brand is just doing an amazing job with the bottles and everything. So, summertime. So, this is an amazing summer-based fragrance, and of course, you look at the bottle and, you read the name, it's automatically going to convey summer vibes. This is actually their take on Kilian Paris's Blue Moon Ginger Dash. So if you've ever tried that fragrance, you know it's not boozy per se. Angel Share is boozy. Single Malt is boozy. Apple Brandy is boozy. Blue Moon Ginger Dash, not so much. It's kind of like, Roses on Ice, where it has a really interesting aroma, but it doesn't smell boozy per se. Because I usually associate spices with booze, and you're not going to get that here. This is a beautiful citrusy ginger fragrance with some aquatic / ozonic tendencies. And this one, the beautiful frosted glass bottle, and this is glass, the cap is plastic, right? But it's just a beautiful presentation. Let me go ahead and spray some. This one, by the way, great atomizer. So bright, so fresh and refreshing. I might make this my scent of the day tomorrow. This is called Mouge Moscow Mule. Just a fresh, sort of easygoing, compliment-getting DNA. And I should also mention the bottle is a lot heavier than the Kilian fragrance. Just a beautiful fragrance overall. And okay, a lot of people might argue this is masculine leaning. And I've also kind of said this before too, because even when it comes to Blue Moon Ginger Dash, I know there have been comparisons to Bulgari Aqua, where it kind of has like this salty, fresh, like designer quality type of a thing going for it. So this one, I would say, is probably out of everything on this list, this is the most masculine leaning fragrance. But I love this one. I think it's an amazing fragrance, grab and go, compliment getter, easy to wear. And of course, it is fashioned around a very popular fragrance, that being Blue Moon Ginger Dash, as is this next one. Okay, so this one is called Emir Vous Patisserie. Wow. So this fragrance obviously is inspired by a patisserie or a French bakery. Doesn't have a macaron accord. So it's not going to be like Sweetie Oud by Raja Parfum. This is actually their take on Italica by Casa Moratti. Italica has this milky vanilla, toffee, caramel vibe happening in here. And I love this one. So this is a wider distribution on the atomizer, still not pressurized, but it has like this added sugary thing happening in the opening. It's not 100% similar to Italica, so it's not a clone, but it's a twist. And wow, delicious. This sugary caramel vibe, exactly what one would be looking for from an autumn fragrance. So for the fall, you can't go wrong with this one. Fall and autumn, absolutely the best time of the year to wear this one. And there was another Ophidian fragrance with cherry in it. I almost picked that for the fall time. And also there's one called Caramel Cascade, which is like a saltier version of Bianco Latte by I Giardini di Toscana. So I almost went with that one for the fall as well. Like I said, I have over a dozen fragrances from this brand, but this one, just smelling it, you just crave and desire to wear this one. Vous Patisserie for the fall time. Amazing. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And the performance is right on par with Italica, I would say. I'm not going to say it's better or worse, but I think it's on par with Italica. And again, the affordability of all of these fragrances is really what works in the favor of people really taking them on and kind of treating them as they would Latafa fragrance, right? Where it's affordable and it's really easygoing and the presentations are super gorgeous. And this one has like a very soft velvety type of a presentation on the bottle. But wintertime. So wintertime, we want something heavy. We want something bold, but not abrasive. Something confident and assertive, but not aggressive. Something very agreeable, but something with sustenance, with longevity, with lasting power. And something that will immediately just put you in the mindset of a cold weather fragrance. Guys, this is a boozy rum and vanilla fragrance. I think I looked online very vaguely. People were comparing it to a Kayali fragrance. I don't own the corresponding Kayali, so I can't validate that. I can neither confirm nor deny if that, allegation is true. But the booziness, the rum, the spiciness, the vanilla that is in here is so sweet, so sensual, so sexy. And this is, once again, I think, in my opinion, of all the ones that I own, this is amazing for the winter time. The lasting power, the longevity, and the presentation is also drop dead gorgeous. And this one is none other than December Vanilla. It has the fleur de lis at the top. It's just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, and might as well spray it. I sprayed the others. Why not this one? I didn't get it yet. Oh, there it is. Wow, this beautiful, creamy, spicy, gourmand, rich vanilla fragrance and rum. So this one, awesome. The notes are on the back. Rum, vanilla orchid, jasmine, vanilla, spicy notes, leather, tonka bean, rose, creme brulee, brown sugar, amber, oud, patchouli, sugar, musk. Oud, amber, patchouli, sugar, rum, creme brulee. Like, if that doesn't scream winter, I don't know what does or what would. Anyway, December Vanilla by Paris Corner is phenomenal. So look, that was my list. The best Paris Corner fragrance for every season of the year: spring, summer, fall, winter. You have a lot of gems here, but ultimately, I'm curious to hear from you. I know this brand is probably not going to be as big as like a Marley or a Creed or a Bond or one of these other brands. So I don't know if you necessarily have experience with this brand, but if you do, please drop a comment down below and let me know, what is your favorite Paris Corner fragrance? Maybe I'll make a video for the future based off of your picks. I would always love to do something like that. I always love the interaction. And of course, if you took anything of value from today's episode, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and of course, giving this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would really mean a lot to me. So thanks again so much for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.